I'd say I have an understanding of these things because some persons say the older you get, the smaller
Hmm.
your friend. And that's because life is happening to you and happening to every one of the persons you call friends. When I was in school, I used to have this colleague. How many were we? I could count. Um, we'll be up to about 9 girls. Okay, we were about 9 of us in a group, and of course, you do know that within cliques, there are always cliques.
Hmm.
That would always happen with girls, and after school, a lot of us went home. Some of us got jobs in different cities, and even the ones who were closer to you became distant, and the ones who were distant to you became closer.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like life happened, in a very funny way. It has its twists and all of that. And the older you get, the smaller the circle becomes. And then you keep meeting new people. And sometimes I feel like at different stages in life, there are people who are coming in to fill the vacuum.
Yeah.
A friend of mine said, nature abhors vacuum. And if that is true, you find out that unless you're shutting people out
Hmm.
at almost every stage, there could be someone who really wants to share that friendly space, who is open enough to share their own life with you and would
Hmm.
also want to give back. So over time, personally, also I'd say my circle has also reduced so much,
Hmm.
has reduced a whole lot. And at this point, my priority has family topping the list. Not like I don't care about myself,
Hmm.
but I think there's a stage you get in life, and caring about yourself is caring for people who depend on you. Let's say when you start to have children, those children are dependent on you
You. Hmm.
to a large extent. And if they get hurt, you're the one who's going to run out to skelter.
Hmm.
So at the end of the day, somehow, you kind of see yourself sharing every bit of you with them. I mean, your time and everything. So I feel like at different stages in life, priorities differ and the circle also differs. Circles change.
I have a
That's how I
dot
feel about
right
it.
now. I have a dot. No. Do you feel like community is important or friendship is more important
Friendship,
at your point in your life right now?
I think the both of them have their different roles. Yeah. The
Okay.
two of them, two entirely different roles. If I am not mistaken, by community you mean uh let's say people who live in the same area with you, who uh, they have the same goals. Okay, maybe a group in your workplace. I like to get a clearer picture of what you mean by community.
Yeah, community like your acquaintances or your network of people that you know. Maybe you met them through business or maybe you met them going to like a yoga class. Just people you're familiar with or that helped you with something, but they're not in your personal space versus your friends. Your friends have seen you through the good, the bad, you're vulnerable. Um, they're more closer to you.
But two of them have two different roles to play, if you ask me. So let's say your friend is one person,
Hmm.
and I'm pretty sure that. I mean, I'm referring to one friend now. There could be a group of friends, and within the group, they could all be for your business. They could all aid your business growth. So,
Hmm.
let's say I work in advertising. I work in
Hmm.
advertising, and I have a community from church, people I belong to, maybe a group with in church.
Hmm.
And now I have spread my contacts, my
Hmm.
prospects, my business prospects beyond my circle of friends.
Hmm.
Now, within the community, I can have people who advertise with me on individual basis, people who tell the people they work for about my agency or my station. I think they all play different roles. And I believe that at different stages in life, you
Hmm.
should have the two, especially when you get towards mid old adulthood. I mean, say from the late 20s and then upwards. Because I also do know that while you were in school, when you talk about community, you were referring to possibly your classmates.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have a business beyond your friends, being cool with your classmates is one way to push your business really far.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me. And let's say you have an event beyond your friends. Who are the next person you should be expecting to have at your event, whether it's paid or not? Let's say there is a wedding in your family and you need to have your own tribe,
Mm-hmm.
cheering you stuff. Beyond your friends, friends could be like top 10, 15 in a group. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, you can't come to an entire event and have just about 15 people. Unless it's a circle group, it's a circle event. Let's say a girls hang out and it's just you and your girls. That's entirely different. Let's say you have a fashion show. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
let's say you have what's it called now? What do you guys call it in fashion? You have an exposition or something like
It's
that.
Fashion Week. Fashion Week?
Okay. Okay. So let's say you have a fashion week. You can't possibly have just your friends sitting and watching what your models are doing. So you see, your community is going to play a very huge role. This is where you come and tell them, oh guys, I have so and so event coming up on so date. So if you have time, please come check in on me. Now, communities also have some rules that may not be written down anywhere, but you know the thing about peer-to-peer support. It's almost an unwritten law for community members to turn up for each other.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost an unwritten law. I mean, that's why people belong to communities, by the way. One of the reasons, anyways, is for people to turn up for each other.
Right.
So, community and friendship they have different roles to play in our lives. They have two different roles.
Okay. I feel like community is more important in my life than friendships for me.
Okay.
I feel like community is pushing me forward with the priorities that I have set for myself.
Okay.
Friendship is more of just an escape for me to just be me and keep myself grounded. But I also need to push myself forward in the three priorities that I have for myself, which is me, my career slash finances, and dating, because I could potentially meet my mate, my partner during what I do most of the time, most of my week. I'm not with my friends most of my week. All my friends have families or kids, and they're not doing what I'm doing. So for me, I think community is more important at my phase of my life than friendship.
Okay. That's pretty cool too. Me, I think they have two different roles to play, and
Of course. Mhm.
at this point, friends are there for me to unburden when I have to talk about what's happening, talk about politics, economy,
Mhm.
relationships, talk about, just what's happening in the world, what's happening, what's on the news. I talk
Mhm.
about that with friends. Of course, I can just pull up in my community and instead of working on the agenda of the meeting or whatever the community is all about, I have to tell them, oh, guys, the price of fuel is a, oh, come on, I can't just do that. Okay. So I have my friends to do all of those banter with. And for the community, I have the community agenda to work on. And of course, use them to my advantage and let them use me to their advantage. I think
Mhm.
it's a give and take thing.
Yeah, I don't know. The people who work for me, my team, I take them out every month. Like we have like our own type of girls' night out, and we don't talk about no work, nothing about work. And it's sort of like I'm talking to my girls, but it's not as personal. But I don't know. I don't treat people like a transactional type of thing. So that's why for me, that's why I said community is more important because I mean, I'm doing business with you, or you're helping my business grow, but I'm also just seeing the human in you. Like everyone wants to have a humanized moment and not just be a business transaction. But yeah, you're right. They do serve two different roles, but I don't know. I for when I'm doing business with someone, I'm not just doing business. I'm also just knowing who you are as a human. as well.
I get it. I totally do get it. But sometimes I kind of try to leave some relationships at some length.
Oh
What do
yeah,
you
there's
think?
boundaries. Oh girl, I'm a boundary queen. Oh yeah, no, I'm not like telling them like, oh yeah, this is what I did to my boy. No, 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 no. There's definitely boundaries, but it's just a little bit more of, I don't know, it's just a little bit more human. Like you just know who I am behind the work, behind the desk, behind the photo shoot, behind me just dressing you. You know who I am, and I don't need to spill over my romantic relationship or my mom relationship with you. It's just me, the core me, my identity.
I kind of understand what you're talking about, and I like that angle too. I mean,
Hmm.
I like that angle to community too. I use my workplace as an instance.
Hmm.
Um, Maybe the girls in the environment getting to hang out. Where I used to work, we used to do that. And then I once had a boss who would say, if you're co-hosting a show with somebody, she would
Hmm.
always say, sometimes the two of you, just the two of you, leave the office space. You don't need to talk about relationships. It could just be talk about random things, just spend time in each other's do I call it
Present.
now? Spend time with each other outside of work.
Yeah, to get the
Because
chemistry, understand your person, know that if you guys have chemistry.
yeah, I think that's pretty cool. That's really encouraged to me. I'd encourage it. But sometimes, there could be a thin line between knowing too much, and then knowing me. That could be a thin line. So boundaries are really important. And for people who do not really know how to handle boundaries, they may just want to leave community at they'll leave work at work.
Mhm.
Some persons would say, "Oh well, you're coming to work not to make friends." I've heard people say stuff like that. So they may just want to, keep them at two different regions so things don't get out of hand. I think that's why sometimes people get careful when community is involved. So it's not necessarily transactional. It's
Mhm.
about going through it what it is supposed to be and not giving it any extra so it doesn't grow out of control. That's it for some persons. And for me, I have also have the opportunity
Mhm.
to build friendship within community, go out with my coworkers and try to, get to know each other.
Mhm.
And during those meetings, uh, I would say that sometimes,
Mhm.
it almost got too close. It
Mhm.
almost did. I am going to be honest, especially where the community is small.
Mhm.
When it is large, it could be different. It could just be a lot of persons just joking around, teasing each other.
Mhm.
So I'd say there are so many dynamics depending on the community and also depending on the kind of time that is being spent. If let's say the time that is being spent is to plan an event,
Yeah.
let's say the community, there is an event planning committee or everybody comes together to plan an event. You see that because the activities of the community, whatever it is that is being met takes center stage.
Mhm.
And for me, I think I get to know people not with the way they interact with me. Okay. I I take my knowing people beyond how I with them. It could be how they talk to people within the community. It could
Mhm.
be how they look at people. It could be how they greet when they enter let's say, a gathering of everybody. So for me, I feel like I don't necessarily need to spend extra time with my community to get to know the people within. And they may also feel the same way about me. They may also get to know me by simply watching the tiny details.
Mhm.